Bula Banaka, and welcome to Gold FM Speak Your Mind. And it's great to be back on the show. This afternoon we'll be talking about the Fiji Business Excellence Awards and a recent win by the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation in the prize level. But I'm glad to be first joined this afternoon by our Director for Human Resources here at FBC, Ms. Janice Singh. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Pedeli.
Now, Janice, you've come close to your fourth year here with the FBC, and you've been one of the driving forces of business excellence within the company from the moment you've joined. Now, what does business excellence mean for you?
Thank you, Pedeli. I served on a number of evaluation teams for about 6 years, and the business excellence framework is a great foundation for productivity and growth in any organization. So when I joined the FBC, I saw the need or the opportunity to implement this process to sort of strengthen our systems and processes.
Now, did it take a lot of work initially for you?
I joined FBC at a very interesting time. At that time, we only had radio services, and we were at the launch of TV. So we had a lot of processes, systems and procedures that we needed to restructure or realign.
And also with the introduction of television, there was hiring of new staff and new jobs created.
Yes, Pedeli. There was a massive recruitment drive in terms of trying to find the right TV personalities, TV staff. So basically, massive, a load of procedures. Yeah.
Now you've since the Fiji Business Excellence Awards, you mentioned that you were an evaluator. Now, when you came into the company and looking at it from the perspective of an outsider, did you know at that time that this is where you wanted to head? This is something that you wanted to push through?
I've always been passionate about business excellence. And when I came into the organization, for me, I looked at it as something that I could actually do something good for the organization. I took it on as a challenge. And I think with just getting the support from the senior management team helped a lot. Yeah.
Now, the actual work itself, to having to make this submission for Fiji Business Excellence Awards, how difficult was the process for you?
The implementation of the Business Excellence Framework basically requires commitment and involvement from all levels of the organization, including board level. And I think we were quite fortunate in the sense that we got a lot of support, especially from our CEO, Riaz. He was very eager to go into the process from the very first year that I joined. So I think it wasn't so much difficult. It was more of a challenge. And I think the biggest challenge was trying to sort of get the submission team together. First, we had to identify the right people from every area of the department, and just getting every member of staff to understand how the framework actually works.
Now, how did the staff take it? I mean, were they very easy to work with in terms of understanding what the framework was about?
This is my first time working for a media organization, and I found that it is quite different from other organizations that
you
I've
don't
worked
say
for.
they're media personalities.
In fact, it was quite a challenge trying to sort of get procedures implemented at the department level, because with the media industry, they don't seem to follow procedures that much.
I was waiting for you to say it. I was waiting for you to say that.
But I guess it's the approach that you take towards trying to get the system to actually work in the organization, and I've gotten a lot of support, especially from the department heads, and it's worked out pretty well.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned the department heads because, working with the different departments and the work that they do, I'm sure can be a lot frustrating for someone in your position, especially when it's media. Now, how different has it been working within the media industry from your as the director of human resources and from when you worked in the previous places?
Well, normally in any organization, human resources has always been seen as someone who works behind the scenes, you know. And the media industry has basically, FBC has basically brought out a lot of things that
Including certain positions like this where we put you in a spot for an
That's
interview.
right, Pedeli. But it's been interesting. We have a great team here, and it's basically just dealing with the different types of behaviors and personalities that you have in the media industry. The different thing is staff in the media industry are very very open, very talkative.
Yes.
They're more extroverts, and you really have to sort of try and adjust to the type of personality in order to get something through to them, you know. But it seemed to have worked. So
I'm sure you've done a wonderful job.
thank you.
I'm just saying that because we're now on camera. Off camera, I'd be saying something totally different. But yes, indeed, it must have been because of these adjustments. But what does the award? What does it mean? Like the Fiji Business Excellence Award, and overall in terms of what the company and its employees could make. What do you think?
Well, as I mentioned in my earlier statement, Pedeli, this is the first time that we've entered the process, and it's a first win for us, and we've actually won the Fiji Business Excellence Prize level, which is a great achievement
Very
for
nice.
the company.
Mhm.
And clearly the win is a reflection of the organization itself, where we are at this point in time, and I'm really proud to be
Right.
seeing results. And
Well, I'm going to have to ask you this. What now? What is the goal now?
well, we're at the prize level now, and it's not going to end there.
Uh-huh.
We would like to go to the president level. That hasn't been decided yet. We still got opportunities that we need to improve.
Uh-huh.
So we will be focusing on those areas first, on trying to improve, sort of implement the opportunities that had been suggested in our feedback report, and then we'll see how it goes.
Right.
But this is not the end of it for us. Yeah.
Definitely not. Thank you again for joining us. Our Director of Human Resources at the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation, Ms. Janice Singh. Thank you again for joining us on Speak Your Mind. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back with further chat with the team behind FBC's win, the prize win at the Fiji Business Excellence Award. Bulagunaka once again, and welcome back to Gold FM Speak Your Mind. And this afternoon we're talking about the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation's recent prize win at the Fiji Business Excellence Awards, and we're talking to some of the people behind the scenes and instrumental in making the submission for the Fiji Business Excellence Awards. And we're now joined kindly by the Chief Financial Officer at FBC, Mr. Vimlesh Sagar. Welcome to the show, Vimlesh.
Good afternoon, Delhi.
Now, I got to ask, what does the Fiji Business Excellence, when you came into, first of all, when you first started at FBC, how much of an adjustment did you make? Is this the first time in the media industry have you come into?
Yeah, you're right, Delhi. Probably this, I have been working in other corporate organizations, but for me, it was a challenge to work in a media organization. But however, if you look at the concept and principles of finance, it's all the principles are the same. So I had a bit of challenge adapting to the atmosphere over here. But well, at the end of the day, it's all about results.
That's right.
It's all about producing results. It's all about financials. It's also about forecasting and planning ahead. Finance is all about planning ahead. And for me, business excellence was always about continuous improvement. So what there was a challenge in my mind, sorry, that going ahead with this business excellence is about continuous improvement. So that's what the motive of business excellence is. We are quite motivated, really motivated about going ahead with the business excellence. So for me, it was a challenge. It was a transformation of current practices, current procedures into a better organization. That's what we were aiming for. And towards the end, we were recognized at prize level. So it's a big it's a big achievement for us indeed.
Had you done anything like this before?
In my previous employment, this is my 10th year of employment. However, we had never done anything as such. Probably, if you look at prize level or any recognition level, there were a lot of things that we did in finance. Like if you look at conferences whereby we had to attend the chartered CAE conferences. But to me, this business excellence was a challenge and something new that we had to do.
Now, it's part of the process is all about the procedures, like you mentioned, and the importance of it. And it would fare very well for someone in the financial side of the company. Now, how much work did you have to put in with your team? I mean, in terms of preparing for it, wasn't much of a challenge, or did it bring your team closer together?
Well, first of all, it all depends on the kind of team that you have. There has to be a team that is well understandable, and there has to be a direction, a motive set. For us, like we had our vision in mind. Like we have to our vision as a national broadcaster. We are the best. Need to be the best broadcaster in the nation. Taking that into consideration with directives given by my CEO, since he's a visionary leader, so we had minds and goals set for finance as well. Finance is about forecasting for future. It's while involved in the project, the upgrade of radio and TV project, we were a bit behind in our audits. So that was the priority given to us. And in order to be part of this Business Excellence Awards, we have to be up to date with not only procedures but the financial reporting part as well. So in case of finance, I'm really thankful to my team. We got together, we discussed with my accountants and with our legal advisor as well. So we moved ahead. We achieved our target set. That's a target set on an annual basis. And then at the end of the day, we achieved our targets.
I mean, it's very encouraging in terms of companies that are probably perhaps thinking of joining Fiji Business Excellence Award, and knowing that the history that FBC has come through, and with it, and having to come to this level, winning a prize level. What advice would you give to some others who are thinking of joining?
I mean, being the only media organization and winning a prize at such a level and recognized as a prize level is a huge achievement for a company. Like we are a state-owned enterprise, we are a government commercial company, and we are one of the entities who is up to date with all the financials as well. So we are really doing really well in terms of financials, in terms of our revenues. FBC is unique in a sense that we are not doing only radio, we are doing TV as well. So if you look at our competitors, most of them is either TV. or radio. We are very unique in the sense that we are doing both, and to be up to date is just a spice on the cake.
Now, how do you answer to critics, I'm sure, who say that what we are constantly may perhaps get a bailout or some sort of this type of criticism that we've received in the past? I'm sure you've perhaps received some in recent. How do you deal with that talk?
It's their views. People are free to express their views. But however, we talk with figures, and we talk with values. No, in this case, like if you look at the recent market survey that was done by the government, that showed our viewership. I mean, it's the people who have contributed to the survey. So it's the results that are shown is what the people think about it. There are a few critics in the market as well, but like. We take the criticisms as positive and move ahead, and then at the end of the day, it's the results that shows where we are.
Right. Well, we will be talking to the Chief Executive Officer of FBC. But what could you say would be one of the projects that to drive us forward for FBC? What is one of the main projects that you're going to be driving you forward?
Going ahead, since I'm looking after the financials part of FBC. Our foremost attention at the moment is to compliance with not only with standards but financial standards as well, that taking into consideration the financial standard, international financial reporting standards, plus compliance with the statutory organizations, the statutory bodies. And then we being the government commercial company, there are a lot of things, there's a lot of compliance given to a line of ministry as well, which we have to comply to. And going ahead in future, we work according to the budgets. There's a timeline given to us as a government commercial company, and with the in conjunction with the advice given by my CEO, we look ahead for a better future for FBC for 2015.
Right. Well, how do you feel personally when you look forward? What is your goal as the chief financial officer here at FBC?
Pedali, our goals and objectives is set. I mean, we work according to standards given by the organization. For example, our organization has vision, values, and mission. So our vision is to be the best number one broadcaster in the nation. Taking into consideration our vision, values, we have set KPIs for all the senior managers and our department and to department level as well. So all is linked. And if you look at business excellence in any organization, or if everything is linked together, that's the way forward.
Thank you again, and good luck to the way forward for you, the Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Vimnesh Sagar.
Thank you, Badali. Thank you.
And we'll be talking to the Chief Executive Officer of the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation as we talk also about Fiji Business Excellence Awards. You're back on Gold FM Speak Your Mind, and we now welcome on the show as we talk about Fiji Business Excellence Awards and the recent win in the prize level for Fiji Broadcasting Corporation. And we now welcome the Chief Executive Officer to the show. Welcome, Mr. Riaz Said-Kayum.
Thank you.
And it is today also marks a special occasion. It is the third birthday for FBC TV.
Yeah, I mean, time has gone really, really fast. It wasn't long ago, 3 years ago, exactly to the day. We're just outside here 3 years ago, where we celebrated and launched FBC TV. And time really has moved really, really quickly, but we've achieved a lot at breakneck speed. I think the achievements that Fiji FBC has done over the last 3 years as a very efficient group is quite amazing in any terms for any broadcaster anywhere in the world. It's amazing work done in amazing time.
Now, I'm going to have to ask, before you even took on the position as CEO of FBC, had you even thought of having an undertaking such as this as your career? Is it something that you had in line?
No.
Never?
No. I think we've spoken about this before in other interviews too. I came here to look after radio. I was going to try and do something with radio to make it better, to put it very mildly. And to cut a long story short, we needed help in the form of renovations, improvements, and all that sort of stuff. Otherwise, the company was going to die a very natural death, because we were very close to death. And but in order for government to support us through government guarantee for us to then go out and get a loan and do what we wanted to, the Prime Minister had made it very clear that he wanted television as well. And you can't really say no to the Prime Minister, because the government of the day owns FBC. And not that they tell us what to do, but in terms of the direction of what the national broadcaster should be doing, it was only natural that FBC was going to do this sooner rather than later, because our neighbours, Tonga, Samoa, all had a television arm for national broadcasters, but we didn't. Although we were the first to set up a national broadcasting service in the Pacific in the form of Radio Fiji 1, Radio Fiji 2, 60 years ago this year. So, somewhere along the line, others had started to beat us. They overtook us, they ran more efficiently, and it was time for us to make some changes and overtake them, and we have, I think.
Well, speaking of efficiency, and we jump fast tracking right through till a week, 2 weeks ago, the win at the prize level at the Fiji Business Excellence Awards. Now, how did you feel about undertaking the Business Excellence? Was it something that you thought of as FBC should be doing?
Yeah, absolutely. We look. Not only do we want to work more efficiently and do things well, we want to show people that we're doing things well. Because at the end of the day, it's all about marketing ourselves. I don't think any company has marketed itself as well as FBC TV did when we first started. Within 6 months, we were the most watched television. The survey that was done after the first 6 months of FBC TV's launch, we had 51% exclusive viewership, and that in anyone's book, anywhere around the world, for any broadcaster, is just frighteningly amazing numbers. So to do that, we had to engage in every form of marketing smartness that we could adopt. We were the first ones to actually put our listeners and viewers on billboards. That was the start of things to come. So what we've done is we've tried to interact with our listeners and our viewers right from day one, and that helped us market ourselves. That got us noticed, and in the Fiji context, you have to get noticed. You have to do things to get noticed, and we've tried a few tricks. I can't talk about everything because then other people will start adopting it, and there's competition. But the fact of the matter is that whatever we've done has seemed to work very, very well. But on top of that, on top of the non-traditional ways of marketing, you've got to try the traditional ways of marketing too. So we're talking about ourselves, and we want to do things that will get us noticed. And one way of doing this was through the Business Excellence Award. But it is a win-win situation, because not only do you get noticed, you are you have to put in procedures and changes within the workplace that will make you win that award. And in order to do that, you have to bring about changes within the organization. So documentation processes, change the way we do things, and becoming more efficient, etc., etc. So in fact, it's a double-edged sword. You become more efficient, but at the end of it, you become more recognized as well.
You must have met some challenges, big challenges within the company. What did you?
What
in terms of these changes that
for these awards? Yeah, of course. People don't like change. No one likes change. It's human nature, and it's hard to sort of persuade people to go through changes. But I think we've got a very good bunch of persuasive people here, and we're able to persuade. And although we'd like to be able to persuade a bit better, it's working out well so far. And not only that, but it's to get into this, to be able to enter and to have a chance of winning the award, you have to put in procedures in place and documentation processes, etc. And people don't usually like writing. They don't like to write that this is how we do things, and this is what we do, and in these sorts of situations, this is what we should do, and this is what is basically the essence of what you should do as an organization to enter the awards. There's always some reluctance, but I think once we had a very good team that was looking after this process of entering the awards, and once they got together and explained it to the rest of the staff that this is what we want, this is what we should be doing in order to achieve these goals, it became a somewhat of an easy process. Really, the kudos for all of this goes to the team, especially to HR. We just said we wanted to do it, and I've been wanting to do this for some time, for at least for the last 2 years, but we were kind of biding our time because we knew we were not quite ready for it. And that is the reason why we were able to, usually when an organization enters these awards, they start from the bottom. There's 4 different levels, 4 categories, with the top one being the President's Award. We never sort of went we do things differently at FBC. So we said, right, we're not going to do that. Don't bother with that. We're going to go straight for the second most highest level, and we'll take it from there.
All right, we'll take a short break. right here on Gold FM Speak Your Mind. But we'll come back and continue our talk with the Chief Executive Officer of the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation. Welcome back to Gold FM Speak Your Mind, and this afternoon we are talking, well, it is the third birthday or third anniversary for the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation's television department, and with me in studio is the Chief Executive Officer of FBC, Mr. Riaz Said Qayyum. Now, just before the break, we were talking about the processes for submitting for the Fiji Business Excellence Awards, but this year has been recognized as a couple of milestones. We've hit the 60th anniversary and the third birthday for FBC TV. And you've mentioned just at the beginning, with full throttle in just the short time that you've undertaken the position of CEO. What is your goal at this time? What is the main thing that's driving you to? What are you driving towards?
Well, there's been a couple of other milestones, if I may.
Okay.
We're the number one broadcaster. We're the first broadcaster to win a Business Excellence Award. And we also one of the very, very few companies that went straight to the upper levels of the prize and didn't start from the bottom. So it is quite a lot to be pleased about as the FBC family. To answer your question, I think what we're concentrating on now is to bring about more efficiency. I think that's always the goal of any organization, especially as the national broadcaster. Obviously we have a commercial arm as well, but at the same time we've got to keep in mind our role and responsibility as the national broadcaster. So it's a fine balancing act, because you've got to not only entertain, but you've got to inform and educate all the time, and there's a lot of emphasis on that. Mm-hmm. So it takes a lot of time and effort and resources to do that. So we can make things easier for ourselves, and at the same time be responsible to our shareholders, the government of Fiji, by working towards providing them a return. So in order to do that, we have to make money, and in order to make money, we have to become more efficient. We have to do things better. We have to do faster. We have to make a name for ourselves in the industry, so that when people think of broadcast, they think of us first, and they come to us first, and they spend with us first. And that's the goal. And the other thing is, as you would have heard, and it was announced by the Prime Minister at our 60th birthday celebrations earlier this year, and it was also it was alluded to during the budget, national budget last week, that the government is putting up a infrastructure for digital TV next year, and the management of the digital TV service, the spectrum, will be done by FBC. Well, not FBC per se, but a subsidiary of FBC, and a new company will be formed, and that's all in process. And we're just waiting for the team, the government team, to finish its work in the early part, before the early part of next year, so that testing can be carried out for the Greater Suva area for digital, and subsequently the rest of Fiji will follow. But before that, we have to do a lot of work in terms of forming a subsidiary and getting staff for that, and putting in structures to ensure the smooth running of that company.
For many of our listeners and viewers also later on FBC TV, there's still a little bit of misconception on what it means to be on HDTV and what this whole switch would mean. Would you care to explain just a little bit?
Yeah, very quickly. Look, digital TV does not necessarily mean HD TV.
Okay.
That is a part of it, which if you want to. But basically what it means, if we move from analog to digital, it means first and foremost for the consumer, better sound and better picture. Much better. So international standards. And basically, to put it very roughly, one analog channel could give you up to 4 digital channels. It depends on the quality of the digital channels. Now, if you wanted an HD channel within the digital channel, then it could mean that 2 normal digital channels will will be needed to make one HD
make one.
HD channel. So HD, of course, is very, very expensive, and HD just doesn't mean showing HD on television. You've got to shoot on HD. You've got to have cameras that are HD, and etc. etc. So the whole process has to become HD, and it's a very expensive exercise. So first and foremost, what's going to happen is that the whole country is going to go digital. That's the intention of the government, to make television more accessible, and to make television better, and give people more choices, because almost immediately there will be, apart from better picture and sound, more channels available.
No, this is not restricted only to FBC, but to all.
Yeah,
television.
absolutely, absolutely. In fact, the way it's done, in order not to give FBC an advantage, when the digital switchover is going to take place, the way government has planned it is FBC will be given one digital channel to replace our one analog current channel, whereas the other TV stations like Fiji Television and MyTV, they'll be given two digital channels in place of the one analog channel, because government is basically, I think what it's doing is bending over backwards to tell the people of Fiji that there's no favoritism. We're going to be absolutely fair. Even though a government owns FBC, they're going to be absolutely fair about how they do things. So it's all transparent and above board.
Now, I'm going to backtrack a little and go back. As you mentioned, that FBC is a commercial arm of government. Now, you may have copped again and again over the years sometimes misconception of how much influence does government have in the daily undertakings of FBC.
Nothing. Seriously, I mean, I can say very, very clearly today, the only time that someone like the Prime Minister has spoken to us about the running of FBC is when he said to me about 6-7 years ago, he said, we need television as well. And that's the only thing that he's ever said to us in regards to that. Everything else comes from the board. The board gives us strategic direction. Then I'm supposed to implement the strategic direction and run the operations of FBC, and that's about it.
Well, what about staff morale? Now with the Fiji Business Excellence Awards, how much of work, you've mentioned a little bit about in terms of processes, but now in terms of, not only celebrating what the achievement is, but taking that on and moving it forward with the staff that in radio and television, and now with the new subsidiary company that is coming. What is the direction in terms of staff development and staff of what you want for your staff at FBC?
I've gone through the ranks. I want the best for my staff because I've been through the ranks, and I do know that traditionally in the media industry, people have not been treated very well in terms of pay structures and all that, and we're working very, very hard to try and improve that. And in fact, that's been one of my major issues. And I've been trying very, very hard to do that and to set benchmarks. So FBC becomes the leader in the industry in terms of conditions, working conditions and pay structures, etc. We are emphasizing a lot on training. You've actually been on one recently. When was the last time someone sent their staff to Turkey for training? And four of you guys went. So, we've sent someone from the newsroom to Bangkok. People are going to Australia and New Zealand. We're bringing trainers over here. So there's a lot of incentives. We've got a gym over here. We're working on health insurance for all the staff for next year, free health insurance, and hopefully, God willing, it's going to happen at the start of the new year. But we are trying to do everything to make FBC the best place to work. My intention always has been that if I ever advertise, if FBC ever advertises for a position, we want a whole line of people outside because this is the best place to work. So, the more people that we have wanting to come and work here, the better chances we have of picking the best person. And that is the reason why we will always grow, because we will have the best people. Because without a good team, we're nothing.
Well, we'll take another short break here on Gold FM Speak Your Mind and be right back. We're speaking with the CEO of Fiji Broadcasting Corporation. Welcome back to Gold FM Speak Your Mind with Pedeli, and I'm chatting with the Chief Executive Officer of FBC, Mr. Riaz Said Qayyum. Now, just before the break, we chatted a little bit about staff development. Now, let's move on to what types of programs that we have, and in terms of what other things that we're looking at in terms of radio and for television at FBC. Now, recently, there's been some new developments. Do you care to just expand a little further on?
Yeah, we had the announcement recently of a few things. This was in line with our birthday celebrations. We have a new boxing show, which is on every Friday during our Friday night sports program on television. So it's international boxing, the best international boxing that you can watch. And it's on every Friday for 2 hours. It's unprecedented. It's never been done in Fiji before. So, and I know a lot of people are appreciating. We're already getting lots of calls and, saying, oh, well done, we needed boxing. There's a couple of other sports that's not shown on television that we're working on. These are niche sports, but I know there's a market for it and people will appreciate it. I can't talk about it just yet, but we will tell the public about it when we're about to introduce it. Also, we have a new Hindu mythological show that's starting or about to start. It's Mahadev. It replaces Ramayan, and also we have the X Factor coming back, and we are working on a local soap. I'm going to tell you that. We're working on a local soap, and it's going to be amazing because there's going to be something about it that has never been done possibly anywhere else in the world. We always want to do things differently. We've had so many Fiji firsts and possibly world firsts. I mean, this very studio. I mean, we've tried finding out if there's anywhere else in the world that has 6 radio studios looking out onto the road, and we haven't found any. So this could be a world first. We're quite sure about it now.
Well, we've actually talked in Europe, and we've spoken with some of our counterparts, and they did mention there's no such thing as anyone facing out.
So it's. I think we should be in the Guinness Book of Records for something if we can. Also, we launched our own production house, Studio 69. Some people ask me about the name. Yes, I know you're going to ask me about the name. We are 69 Gladstone Road. It's as simple as that. There's no other intention. I mean, there's nothing, nothing else intended in that. In fact, the Prime Minister asked me about that. He said, "What's going on with the name?" I said, "Look, there's no other intention. We're 69 Gladstone Road." And he said, "Oh, okay, fine. That's justifiable." So, and we wanted a catchy name, and we wanted a business, and we've reached a stage in our business where we're able to do all the things that production houses were able to do. I'm not saying that we want to take away all the work from the production houses, but if you have more people competing, it forces people to improve on the standards. And there is enough work to be shared by all production houses and ourselves as well in Studio 69. So we can do things like choir recordings, music videos, corporate videos, which is a big thing now. A lot of companies, what they're doing now is, although they don't have anything to advertise or to sell to the consumers, they want a corporate video to tell people about what they do. About what they do. It's like FEA making a video. I mean, FEA is not going to sell you lollies, but they want people to know how long they've been in the business, how responsible they are, to improve their corporate image. And a lot of businesses are doing this, and we are specializing in that. We want to we are specializing in corporate videos. We specialize, of course, ads. We want to become a one-stop shop to an extent. So if you've got something to sell, instead of going to a production company, you come to us. We'll write the ad for you. We'll take it right from the conceptual stages, make it, get it approved by you, and then put it on radio and television. And then we've got Facebook and the internet. I mean, last year on our website we had about 2.6 million hits. This year we're looking at about 3 million hits. I mean, for a Fiji company to do those sorts of hits is huge, and about 50% of that was local. The other 50% was all from overseas. So there's a lot of potential for our clients too, to sort of get on board and start using our services. In regards to Facebook, I'm of the older generations. I don't know Facebook too well, but I do know it's a great business tool. And Facebook, we are one of the only 2 verified Facebook pages in the whole of Fiji. The first one is Fiji Water, and the only other one is FBC TV. So if you go to the FBC TV Facebook page, we're close to 50,000 likes, and it's only the second verified page by Facebook themselves. They verify us. and it's amazing. We're able to promote not only ourselves but our clients as well through that, through the website, through radio, through television, and it basically is your one-stop shop. And if you want people to know about you, whether it is for corporate services or for advertising purposes, FBC is the best place to come to.
All right. Well, I'm just going to ask my final question for you this afternoon is, where are you going now? Where are you going to take the company now? What is your next step?
Well, it's very simple. We want to do things better. We really want to do things better. Look, because I've come through the ranks, I know there's certain areas and certain places we can make improvements. Not only on radio, on television, on our news, and in the finance department. There's a lot of places where we're doing very, very well. But I know we can do better, because I want us to be one of the best corporate organizations in Fiji. And considering from where FBC as a whole was about 7 years ago, I think we're doing very well, and we're kind of right on track.
And in terms of, I'm going to have to ask, in terms of working with other media organizations, internationally or regionally, is that something that FBC is looking towards to in making these, in terms of delivering programs or broadcasts?
We've already started. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, we'll have to speak for about a day to get through everything. But just to tell you very, very quickly, we're the only broadcaster in Fiji that have got formal relationships with other countries. We have an MOU with TRT, Turkish Radio and Television. That's why you guys went for your training. We've got a formal relationship with KBS out of Korea. Formal relationship with EBS out of Korea, which is the producer of the world's of the most children's programs in the world. We've got a relationship with IRIB, which is Iran broadcast, and we're looking at some more MOUs to be signed with other countries. We buy programs from all over the world. I mean, a lot of people don't realize this, but FBC TV has programs in 8 different languages. And I do go to, on occasion, I go to broadcast conferences and meetings and stuff. I've never come across any other TV station or any broadcaster that does more than 1 or 2 languages. So 8 languages. I mean, people don't realize it. We've got Japanese content, we've got French, Chinese, Iranian, Turkish, you name it. We've got it. Itoke, Hindi, and of course English. So if you put all that together, we've got 8 different languages, and it's a unique model. And our whole thing is this is where the commercial hat comes off, and the public service broadcaster hat comes in, because we want to say, look, you can get entertained, but also learn about other cultures without having to leave your home and learn about other places. And we've got a new program, a couple of other new programs about to start in January that will educate and inform people a lot more.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon on Speak Your Mind.
No problem.
And good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, that winds up our program this afternoon. Feel free to also send us comments on goldfm@fbc.com.fj, or you could easily just call us up on 3220-906 or 3220-907. Until next week, good afternoon.